What's up, y'all? It's Donio coming back at y'all one more time, and today I have another project for y'all. Many of you guys know that I've been into car audio for quite some time. Well, today we're gonna be building a box for the Sundown X-8 V3. Alright, we're gonna start off here by measuring up with our most common dimension on our layout here, and the most common dimension is 11 inches. Then get your straight edge, and we're gonna draw our lines. And now we make a cut. And now we repeat the process. Alright, I got this box all together and it's looking fantastic. Check that out. It's not held together with anything, it's just kind of sitting together right now. This is the back portion, and that's what it's looking like inside right now. All we got to do is start gluing it together, and we got to cut out the port panel, and that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're pulling out the big guns now. We got the air compressor here with the brad nailer. We got some 1-inch nails in there, and we're gonna go ahead and nail this bad boy together. We put some glue here. We're just gonna put that right on. Well, actually, let me stand it up. Then we'll put it together like so. Now we put some brad nails in it. We get our front portion right there, add our glue. Just a dab of glue. We got our front portion all set up. Just like that. Okay, right here I have the two pieces for the port cut. The port is a total of 19 inches, so it's 10 1/4 this way, and then 8 3/4 this way, and that makes a total of 19 inches, giving this a tuning frequency of about 35 hertz. Now I got this little L port put together. What we're going to do next is we're going to take a round over bit, and we're going to go ahead and round over this inside edge right here, which is going to be on the inside about right here, so that when the air is passing through, that rounded edge helps with the airflow. Now let's round this bad boy over. And now we're gonna flip it. We're gonna flip it around and do the other side. Although that's gonna be a little challenging now that I think about it. Guess we could do that. I'll give it a shot. That's gonna be a little difficult, but I think we can do it. And there we have a nice little rounded edge. And that's gonna go right in there like that. Look how nice that's looking. Now I actually went ahead and put a nice little round over on this inside corner as well. And now we're gonna go ahead and assemble that in place. Next, we're gonna get our flush trim bit, which I had just mounted here in my Bosch router, and we are going to flush out all the edges, like right here, the edge right inside here. You can see how it's slightly not flush. We're going to go ahead and make that nice and flush. You could tell that makes an immediate difference. Nice and flush. The next step is to cut our circle to put this subwoofer right in. So I got my circle jig right here. So we're gonna go ahead and stick a nail into the specified parameter, and we're gonna cut our circle. We're gonna use this as a test piece and try it out, see if it works. Well, it looks like my camera died while I was cutting the hole out, but hopefully I got some of that. And this is the moment of truth, guys. And it looks like it goes in there, but it's a little bit loose. All right, so if you guys want to find the center, all you got to do is draw an X. I measured 12 inches out this way because it's 12 inches high. We drew an X, and that's how we found our center. We drill a hole to stick your router bit through, and we're gonna put this in 7 3/16 of an inch. Always gonna want to use some kind of eye protection because this blows a lot of sawdust. And there we have it. Of course, we do a test fit, and she fits perfect. Look at that little beastly sub. I love it. And here we're gonna go ahead and glue the top on and brad nail it in place. Now that we have the box all built and put together, for the next step we're going to build a custom template for the top, or beauty panel. We're going to build a custom beauty panel for the top. And there we have our piece. What I did here is I pulled this surround, or I'm not really sure what it's called, off the speaker. This actually goes around the surround, and we're going to use this as a reference to draw our line. So I'm going to put that there and draw a circle around the circle we just drew, and that is going to be our cutout for the subwoofer. Right, so the next part, we need to find the center point of this line. What I'm going to do is we're going to measure out from the edge to the circle, the outer circle that we just drew, and that comes out to about 1 3/4. That looks pretty on the dot, to 1 3/4. So we're going to measure out the same on this side. I'm actually going to put this right on the 1 so I can see it's right on the line there, and we're going to measure out 1 3/4. So we're going to go to 2 3/4. I already drew a line right here, and then we're going to get a straight edge, which as a square, and we're going to draw a line right there. So that was only half of it. You got to do the same thing vertically and horizontally. So we're going to measure the distance right here, which is 1.5. I'm measuring this side because it's the shorter distance. On this side, we want it to be 1.5 inches away from the circle. So we're going to go from here, go down 1.5 inches, and draw your line here. And we repeat the process. Go ahead and draw that line, and voila. So we know that this circle is centered in between the box that we drew here. And now we're going to redraw our X because the first one we messed up on. Alright, so I'm going to make that a little bit darker. Okay, so that is actually going to be our center point, not this one. I'm going to squiggle that out, and that's how we find our center point. Once that is complete, I'm going to router a little groove right to the very edge of our outside line, and we're going to stick our router in there, and we're going to see which hole lines up with our center point that we just drew. Using my creative imagination and a couple squares, we have a framing square and a speed square. I drew out a quick design. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this out, and we're going to use that as our design for the beauty panel. Should come right out. Next, we're going to cut out a section that matches the inner design of this and use that as an insert. Once we have our template cut out, it should be pretty close to fitting right in to the beauty panel, but not exact. So and that's pretty close. So to get it to fit in, I drew a couple of marks around here where I need to sand it down a bit, and we're gonna come back to the bench sander. Once we have it all sanded down, I went ahead and drew in a quick design once again, and we're going to go ahead and cut that out. Next, we're going to get our router and we're going to add a beveled edge, also known as a chamfer bit or chamfered edge. So now we can finally glue the top plate on. And voila. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use the router to cut out the hole. And once we have the hole cut out, I'm going to swap out the router bit for a rabbiting bit. And we're going to extend that hole out a little bit more so that the round over around the sub shows and it looks aesthetically pleasing. Alright, next I'm going to get some wood filler, and we're going to go ahead and smooth out the port here with the wood filler. Alright, let's get a shot of it right down here. Alternatively, if you don't have wood filler, you could use Bondo to fill in any missing parts you may have. Now we can go ahead and sand down our port. We finally have the box all done and siliconed. Here is the insert. And the next step is going to be to wrap it with the carpet. As we wrap the piece with the vinyl, we spray it and then we stretch it over the edge and put a staple on it. And now we get our blade and we cut that right off. And we repeat that process all around our piece here. Now this can be pretty time consuming, but the end result will be worth it. I'd also like to add, if you wanted to, you could add a beveled edge on the bottom side of your insert in order to have a place to staple the vinyl, but I chose not to do it on this one. And this is the final product. Check that out. Beautiful. For the next step in our mastery plan here, we're gonna go ahead and carpet the box. We're gonna start off by spraying the sides. Spray both the box and your material. The glue sticks better to itself than it does to the material alone. Believe it or not, and it should stick nicely. Now here I'm going to go ahead and take my box cutter and carefully cut out the center piece. Alright, for the next step you want to cut each side into a square. So you want to get your corner and run your box cutter along that corner. Like so. Go ahead and spray your piece in the box. And we're gonna lay this over. Cut it right in the middle. And now we can effectively line up those two seam lines. And now with the side pieces, what we can do is we can do a half moon shape. So we're gonna do like a circle like that. Or you can do triangles, so you can just do straight lines. Either way will work, whichever is easiest for you guys. We are now at our very last but far from least step, the vinyl on the top. Now doing the vinyl on the top is pretty much a rinse and repeat process. We're just repeating everything we did before. Spray both the vinyl and the wood so that it tacks better, because the glue actually sticks better to itself when it's a little tacky than the wood itself. I just wanted to point out, when you're doing the hole, you want to cut the center into a bunch of triangles, being careful not to let your blade go over the top here. That way it's easier to stretch here in the inside corners. Alright, now to do the port, we're going to get our straight edge and we're going to line it up right with the edge of the port. I'm going to get my X-Acto knife and we're going to very carefully make a straight cut. Now, see? I wish you could say her name. Look at that. Beautiful.
Dude. That was
and this is the finished product. What do you guys think about that? Oh yeah, very nice. Nice little 8-inch subwoofer. We now interrupt your video for an important announcement. What up, y'all? This is Tonio. I hope you guys are enjoying that video because I now have my very own line of t-shirts. If you guys would like to check it out or support me, go ahead and check it out at mycraftsmanship.com, or link will be in the description. And enjoy the rest of the video and have an awesome day. And that, my friends, is how we build a subwoofer box. We're going to do some quick testing. Unfortunately, I have to mute this part of the video so I don't get demonetized in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, comment, and have an awesome day.